Hi, my name is Ryan Sharp, and I'm here to inform you about why FDR is the best president that the United States has ever had. So, what if you had a boulder hanging over your head? If you slipped at any second, it falls and crushes you. What if you were faced with the biggest war in the world's history? What if you had to run a country when it ran out of money? What if you couldn't even stand up to face any of these? Well, as Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So, first I'm going to talk about the Great Depression and how the stock market crashed and he pulled us out with no money and was given this awful scenario and came out on top. Next, I'm going to be talking about World War II and how he changed the tide of the world by joining the war. And I'm lastly going to talk about how he was a role model. So, the Great Depression, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was tossed in the middle of it after the stock market had crashed and we were out of money. Everybody was unemployed and we were out of money. But he came in swinging. He implemented the New Deal, which gave $3.1 billion to the banks to start giving people money back that they didn't have any more of so that they could spend it and get our economy going again. He also set up labor unions, which brought people from unemployment to a job where they could work and actually get money. He also implemented his second New Deal, which created Social Security, which we still use today as a safety net. So if anything like this would happen again where we had run out of money, there's a safety net that catches you. He also implemented Wagner's taxes, where it basically taxed the wealthy so the working class could make more money and actually get homes again and live. Now, I'm next going to talk to you about World War II and how he changed the tide of the entire world. In 1941, the world was pretty against the war. Well, the US was pretty against the war. They didn't want to go fight over there, and it wasn't their fight. Until Pearl Harbor. And after many men, American soldiers, lost their lives in battle, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was tired of sitting around, and he took action. He brought the U.S. together to go set out to fight the war, and by doing so, changed the entire tide of the war. He sent out 8.2 million U.S. soldiers over the course of the entire war. He sent out, and in one single day, D-Day, the day that the U.S. joined and decided to attack on the Germans, turned the tide of the world. The world would not be the same place if FDR didn't stand up and attack, didn't decide to sit down. He decided to take a stand, and that's why I believe, my last talking point, that he is the best role model that you could have as a person. He was the only person to ever serve 4 terms, the longest that anybody's ever served as president. And he did this all after getting polio, which is a disease that's not that good. He ended up losing functions of his legs afterwards because of it, and he could no longer walk after he got polio. But that didn't stop him from being one of the most courageous and honorable leaders that we've ever had as a president. He would create fire chats, which was the early broadcasting system for the news. It was the first version of it where he would talk on the radio to the entire country about what's going on, to bring them all together, to make him feel like he's one of them, to let them know what he's talking about. And unfortunately, Franklin Delano Roosevelt loved the U.S. so much that he died in office on April 12th, 1945. He had passed away after a long fought battle with many, many hard challenges over top. So first I talked about how he saved our economy with the Great Depression, how he turned the tide of World War II, and he was an upstanding leader. As he once said, take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly, and try again. But by all means, try something. So when you have that boulder hanging over your head, you don't fail.